Hey y'all, my name is Adriana Vilela. This is a brief demo of what the OpenTelemetry operator's target allocator can do. We'll be doing a quick demo in which we scrape Prometheus metrics from Python services running on Kubernetes using the target allocator. You can check out the detailed setup instructions in the source repo by scanning the QR code on your screen. Let's get started. Let's open our GitHub codespace and get started. Now, this may take a bit of time, so I went ahead and sped things up so y'all aren't bored to death. Since we're running the OTel operator, we need a Kubernetes cluster, and we do this by running kind or Kubernetes in Docker in our code space. Now, I've created a handy-dandy script for installing kind, so let's run this right now. This takes a few moments to complete, so again, I sped things up. And now we can check to make sure that our Kubernetes node has been created properly by running kubectl get nodes and that all of our services are up and running. Now we're ready to start installing things on our cluster. The first thing we'll do is install the pod monitor and service monitor CRs. If you enable the Prometheus CR functionality in the target allocator config section of the OpenTelemetry collector CR, these will need to be present. We can install them by simply grabbing the YAML definitions directly from the Prometheus operator's Helm chart. Note that we're not installing the entire Helm chart. We're just installing these two custom resource definitions, or CRDs. The next thing we need to do is install the cert manager because it is an installation dependency for the OTel operator. Now, once it's installed, we need to check to make sure that the pods are running properly, so we run kubectl get pods. And once all pods are ready, we are good to go. Finally, we're ready to install the operator itself. Again, we'll check the pod status to make sure that everything is up and running by running kubectl get pods. And now that all of the pods are running, we're ready to deploy our services. But before we can do that, we need to build our service images and then load them into kind so that they're available to be pulled by our deployments. Now we do this using a handy little script that I've created, and I've sped up its execution for the purposes of moving things along. But wait, there's more. Before we deploy our app, I wanted to quickly show you the service monitor configuration. Here we have a single service monitor that is configured to find all services with the label app:my-app, and it's looking for these three specific endpoints. The endpoints belong to the services being scraped. Okay, now it's showtime. Let's deploy our various Kubernetes resources. Now, I created a quick little script that deploys all of the required resources. And now that everything's deployed, let's make sure that our pods are up and running by running kubectl get pods in the OpenTelemetry namespace, which is where I deployed everything to. Now, it takes some time to get the collector pod up and running, so just be patient and don't panic if you see it error out initially. It usually does recover unless there is a terrible error in your configs or something to that effect. Since everything is deployed, we can check our collector logs to make sure that it's receiving and processing data, which, from looking at it, it looks like it is. And then we can run this command, which again peers into the collector logs, but it's slightly different because it returns unique items from the collector logs containing the name:prefix. You can see that one of the items returned has a sum_counter prefix. Now, this was picked up from one of our Python apps, which was emitting Prometheus metrics. And if you open up the Python app, you can see that it's setting a counter called sum_counter.